Okay lads, I'm going to do a video on output 5. Briefly discussed it earlier in class, so I'm going to go through the whole handout kind of bit by bit to show you how to do your 2 pages for output 5. These are your technical drawings. If we just go to this page here, so things that you have to have is your orthographic views, plans, elevations, end views, even auxiliary views if you want. Rendered pictorial views, so that's your 3D images, isometrics, etc. And you need an exploded view of your 5 parts or more if you have. Section views are a good thing to have in as well. The tip is to fill the sheet, maximize the space. I noticed an awful lot of you in outputs like 7 and 8, even 3, it just left a lot of white open space on it. That will go against you big time. You'll be putting in key dimensions like lengths, widths, heights, diameters and stuff like that. We don't have to go overboard with it. There's a couple of settings here which I'll talk about later on as we get to it. Annotation and labeling is critically important here. So the person or the examiner reading it has to know exactly what he's looking at. No point in having the plan, elevation and end view if it's not labeled. You know, you have to tell the person. Don't assume that they know what it is. So I'm going to show you how to use a template, like a pre-made file that you're going to use. So on Edmodo we have DCG assignment output 5 template, and it's a DRWDOT file. It's a drawing template file basically. That can't be opened as it is. We have to go into SolidWorks to open it. I'll just show you something here. Here's my assembly of my mouse, but I've also added in this tabletop surface here. We don't want this for the assembly, so if you're going with a tabletop or some sort of surface that the mouse is sitting on with a decal or whatever, you might need to save 2 versions of it. You might just, for the purposes of output 5, you just maybe want to have a file that's the assembly of the mouse itself, and then you might want to have another assembly that brings the table into it. That's up to you. I might do another video of how to do that. So for the purposes of this here, I am going to delete the table surface. Okay, and I'm going to save my file, not as what I've already got it saved at. I'm just going to save it as assembly with no table. Okay, I might put brackets in there to distinguish between them. Once again, this assembly is all in the output 4 folder. I would advise you to have maybe your output 5, to have that in the same folder as your output 4. I'll talk about the file structures in the coming weeks. Okay. Anyway, so here's my file. Now to do our technical drawings of this here, I could close it down and go from scratch, but there's a handy option here where if we go new, make drawing from part or assembly, so we can go straight into the drawing of it. Let me just click OK. Now the option that pops up here, this is our drawing file. Now it's after automatically selecting my template file. It was smart enough to realize that there was a template file on my computer. If that doesn't do that for you, I'm just not going to save that. I'm going to start fresh. So file, new, drawing. Now it's actually, you can see here why it done it. It picked it up there, but let's say it didn't give you this option here with that file that we downloaded. Let's just go into a normal drawing. That's the standard one. I'm going to click cancel there. I'm not going to pick a size, and I'm going to go file, open. I'm going to search. Now it's on my desktop. You don't need to have this file in your folder. There we are, the drawing template file. It opens it up. There we are with the title block. Now you'll see it has the school crest. This is our first angle projection orthographic symbol. It has the title of the page, and we have a space for the exam number. So that's great here. So we want to edit that to update maybe your exam number and the title of this page. So in here on sheet 1, if we right click it and just go properties, a little window will pop up. First and foremost, we're going to set it to first angle. I'm just going to show you, even though I set it to first angle here, it's probably going to deviate from that. It's going to change for whatever reason. I still haven't figured out why it does this, but I'm going to set it now to first angle projection. Remember, the third angle is the system that the Americans use for orthographic projection. Now on sheet 1 again, I want to go to edit sheet. Everything turns blue. Now I'm able to edit things like this one here. You can change fonts and all that kind of stuff, but there's no need really. Output 5 sheet 1. Grand, and I can reposition that. I can make it bigger as well if I want. I can change the font size. Your exam number, just want to, whatever, you know, you'll get that in time. And that's all you need to do there. When you're happy enough with it, you just click this button here. It takes you out of the title block edit. Grand. Double click my scroll wheel to center it. Okay, so the first thing we do, so I'm kind of following the guide here. Okay, so where are we now? We're up to, we're at step 5 here. Save the file immediately as output 5 sheet 1, and save it in the same folder as your assembly. The file type should be a .drw. Remember, we opened this as a drawing template. I'm going to save it straight away as output 5 sheet 1, and I'm not going to save it as a template file. I want to save it as a DRW file, a drawing file. Now I'm going to save that in my Logitech folder if I can find it. I have so many bloody folders on my desktop. I've probably passed it. That was the mock one. I don't want that one. There we are, Logitech mouse. I think I had it in the latest version. So output 5 sheet 1, save. So now I have my file set up. The next thing to do is step 6. So we want to go into properties. So I've done this already. First angle projection. Scale I'm going to talk about individually. Last year it was the blender. Blenders are quite big compared to mice, so we had to use a 1:3. We might use 1:1 or 1:2. Here's the edit sheet thing. We've done that already. Now this is where we are. Click the view layout tab and then model view. Okay, so let me go back into SolidWorks. So view layout, model view. Now my Logitech mouse assembly is there. If it's not, you'll have to go and browse for it. So I'm going to click that there. Now create multiple views has to be ticked, and I want to start off with my elevation as the front view. Now I have a little problem there. Let me see. Now I had problems with this earlier and I still haven't figured out 100% how to fix this. We should have an option. If I go back to the PDF file, we should get at some stage a box there. Where is it now? It's down here, step 14. Auto start projected view. For some reason that doesn't always come up. Okay, so if that happens, I'm going to delete that first view there, and I'm going to kind of start it again. So that little box popped up there. Delete it. Yes, right. I'm going to try again. Model view. Now it's not giving me the option view again. So let me see, create multiple views. So I'm going to start off with the front view. Okay, there it is there. It's there now, auto start projected view. So now what I'm going to do, so I have my front view, basically the elevation selected, and I'm going to land my elevation here. I'm going to move my mouse over and project an end elevation, and I'm going to come down here to get a plan view. Now this is correct. This is proper first angle projection. So remember, if we look in from the left hand side, it's drawn on the right hand side. So basically I'm looking at the back of it there, which would be over here. So that is correct. And if I'm looking down from above, that's what I'd see, the plan view, and the plan goes underneath. Sometimes the third angle projection, it can swap back to that and you have to go and change it. So if I move my mouse up now I have an underneath view. So if you have detail on the bottom of your mouse, I think an underneath plan view would be brilliant. You might even, if you have detail on the back, now I think that end view there is not great. It doesn't tell me much about it, but I think this end view is much better. So looking in from the right hand side, it's projected on the left. Okay, if I move up diagonally, we can get these 3D views. So I'm going to take that one there, and I might, because I have detail on the bottom, I'm going to take that one there. Now I have a lot of views there, and you notice that they're all not on the page. That's fine, we can move them. So green tick there for a second. I'm going to delete this one. I don't, because that doesn't really tell me much about it. You can keep it if you want, but there's no need for it, I don't think. Now with the 3D views, they can be dragged around the screen fairly handy, and it's important that we set it to this here, this display style, shaded with edges. Your 3Ds have to be shaded with edges. Okay, so there's the underneath view. So I'm just going to place them there for a second. I might rescale them, make them bigger. We'll see what happens. Over here is my elevation. So bear in mind I have to get that kind of underneath view in there as well. You do not have to do an underneath view, but I'm doing it because this mouse has detail underneath. If you have no detail underneath, I wouldn't bother with it. Okay, so there's my 3 major views. I'm just going to space them out. We want to put notes on these as well to tell the user what he's looking at. I'm just going to show you how to change the scale. Okay, so I'm going to change that. That's 1:1. So if we look over at the side here, it's 1:1. If I change it to 1:2, it might be too big. Okay, so use custom scale 1:2. Sorry, that would be half. 2:1. I mean, that's too big. So I'm going to do 1.5:1, or if you're good at maths and you know your fractions, we can go 3:2. It's the same as 1.5:1. Okay, so maybe that one I might make smaller, or make this one bigger. So I'll go 3:2 with this one, because this is my main pictorial view. 3:2. Maybe I'll bring that back down to 1:1, and I'll tuck that away down the corner maybe. We're going to put in other views, so this could change in a few minutes. I'm going to add in what's called a section view, so basically a cutting plane, to have a look on the inside of the mouse. Just to tell you, if your projection system is wrong, if it's not first angle projection, here's how to go back in and fix it. So green tick. So if you go to sheet 1 again and go to properties, just go back in and make sure first angle is ticked. Okay, green tick. Grand. Now there's a couple of settings that we have to have. Is it on this place yet? Yeah, it's on this one here. Let me just see, but I'm going to try follow this here. Okay, so there's our plan elevation end view, pictorial. That's made bigger. Yeah, okay, so we're up to this stage here. Now it's important that your 2D views have a setting called tangent edges removed. Your 2D views, so anything that's 2D. Well, first of all, I'm going to project a section view, because a section view will be 2D as well. So I might as well do all the 2Ds in one go. So how do we do a section view? So go to our view layout, go to projected view, and our projected view, you have to position the cutting plane. So I'm going to try pick a point somewhere. I didn't do that correctly. Section view is what I meant to go to. I'm going to go over it and try pick the mid. Now this is great because it picks up points. Now I've got the midpoint there. This is my section line. So I hit the green tick. We want to select auto hatching, and if I move my mouse to the side, that's it there. Now you might say to yourself, I'm not going to fit that in, and that's no problem. If you notice that I can't bring the plan view left or right, I can only go up or down with it because it has to stay in line orthographically. Same with that one. This one I can't move up or down, only left and right, and the section view I can only move left and right. But we can detach them from each other if we want. Now I wouldn't advise it with our normal plans, elevation and end views, but I'll do it with this one here. So on the view, you right click the edge of it and go to alignment and break alignment. Now it's broken away and I can place it wherever I want. So I'm going to place it down there. Now a section view will give you the position of the cutting plane, and it will label it AA. If it gives you something like ZZ or SS, I would advise you to change it to AA, and we can do that up here. We can change the letters, I think. So let me just try that there. Yeah, BB. Okay, I want to keep it as AA for now. If I'd done a second one, you might want to do a second section view, then you'd call it BB. Okay, and it has a little note there to go with it, section AA, and I can drag that around as much as I want. Now we're going to put in some notes here. Even before I do the notes, I'm going to put in another type of view, which might be handy. I have a bit of space up here that I could utilize, or if I wanted, maybe I could just change them all to maybe a slightly bigger scale to fill the page a bit more, because bear in mind we have a second page here. So I'm going to go use custom scale. I'm going to go 3:2, just see, That's 3 is to 2. Sorry, 3 is to 2. Okay, so the rest of them kind of popped up there to 3 is to 2. Now, could I get these to fit all on one page? I probably could. It just means a bit of rejigging. Now we're going to put dimensions in here at some stage as well. Now I'm going to bring this over to that side, which is technically incorrect, okay, because that wouldn't be proper orthographic projection. So maybe I should leave it on that side because I'm after doing my section view on it based on that. So I think I will leave it there, okay. I will leave it there. Otherwise I'd have to go and reproject it, which is a bit of a pain. Now I'm struggling to get these to fit in here. Ideally I'd like to use that over there. So what I'll do is I'll delete that view. I'll just show you if you want to go back and see my section view is gone now. So let me try that again. So we're going to do a new view. So there's the 3 views there. Like, you only might have 2 of these, by the way. So go to projected view. Select the view you want to project from. Okay, so that's looking in from the left. Okay, now you might say to yourself, well, where all that detail there of the wheel, that's gone. So what's the point in that? Well, I'll show you now how we can get that onto it if we bring our hidden detail into it. Right, okay, just let me, I don't know what I done there. There, get rid of that. Now it doesn't look great at the moment. Let me just position that one there, that one there. In fact, maybe I'll bring that back down to 1 is to 1. And this is the skill of it, really, trying to get everything to fit in and to be you know, neat and ideal. How could we get that there? Maybe might even go with just one of them. Okay, I'll just go back into my section view again. I'm going to do it in the middle there. Green tick, auto hatching ticked. Grand. I'm going to break it away now. Right click, alignment, break alignment, and I can place that up here. Okay, so the page is starting to fill up, which is what we kind of want. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this one out. I'm going to bring this one up to 2 is to 1, or maybe 3 is to 2. And that other 3D view that I had there, I'm going to actually put that on page 2. Okay, let's see if we can just get it all to fit together. We are kind of limited on space. Maybe that would be better up there, and maybe the section view would be better down here. It's kind of difficult actually because everything's so big. Yes, and I'm just messing around here. Like, I should really just move on. I'm just going to bring that back to 1 is to 1 and just leave it at that. Okay, it fits in, grand. Now, to do this thing here, we want to get all our 2D views to be tangent edges removed. So tangent edges removed, and I think it's set on page 1 as well. 2D views, we want hidden lines visible and tangent edges removed. So I'll show you how to do that. Well, hidden lines visible. So to do all the orthographic views together, you click the main one, and this is our hidden lines visible. Now you can see it's after bringing in the detail of the mouse wheel there for me. And we also want to right click on it and go to tangent edge and tangent edges removed. That didn't do much there, so I want to do that again. Tangent edge. Let me just double check that it's set tangent edges removed. Yeah, that's it. And 3D view, we have to set the 3D views to be shaded with edges and tangent edges with font. So shaded with edges, we've already got that, by the way, it's done. Shaded with edges, and it was something to do with tangents and fonts. They're just settings, tangent edges with font. You won't notice any difference probably, but it's something that you have to do. Now, to put some notes on this, as you can see there, the plan view and the underneath view are similar, so I could probably get rid of that now. I don't really need that. So now I'm after freeing myself up some space, and I could probably go back now and go and do my 1:1. So I'm just being very particular about this here, just showing you that, you know, you have to kind of get things kind of perfect. Maybe that could fit down there. I'm going to show you how to put in one more type of view called a detail view. Now a detail view is something that it's like a zoomed in view. So in view layout we go to detail view. So I'm going to get a kind of and you probably use the 3D view here to project it. I want to get a kind of an image of the mouse, basically a zoomed in bit of the mouse. So I'm just going to click in there. It drags a circle, and then if we move it up, you can see that it's a zoomed in view. Okay, now it produces a little note there as well called detailed view C, and here you can see that it has the letter C there. Okay, I think I can edit that and shorten the circle as much as I want, and we can drag the center around if we want to drag the center. So when we turns to a crosshair, how do we get it to? There must be a way of doing that. It seems to be locked into a point there, which I'm not happy with. I'm going to get rid of that actually. Try it again. Detail view. That's roughly there as my center, the circle. I pressed escape. I shouldn't have done that. And the note is projected. I'll move it up closer. Now it says E, detail E. We could probably change that to A because it's the first detail view in it. Detail A, and that actually updated it as well there, and its scale is 3:1, and you can change that as well if you want. Okay, and you can move it around the screen as much as you want. Okay, what else do we need here? Well, we need our notes. So how to do notes? We go to annotation, we go note, and I'm going to land one right there, and I'm going to call this my elevation. If we want, we can edit the font size and all that kind of stuff. I can set it to whatever, 14. Should I go to 18? You can make it bold, whatever you want. Okay, so that's that one done. If you're happy enough with that font setting, I wouldn't advise you to go and do note all over again. Maybe try copy and paste it. So Control C, Control V, drag it into position. Right, so I need to drag that down a little bit, maybe drag that up a bit. Of course we can make that 18 as well. We can make it bold. We can bring that back onto that line, put it in brackets maybe. Scale 3:2. Stretch the box. Perfect, I hope. Grand, yeah, this is not an elevation anymore, this is a plan. And of course we've an end elevation here, so I'll just do my Control V again. So that's my end elevation. And we have our, obviously our section view line there as well. I wonder, can I drag that B up? I can actually, just to make more room for the end elevation note. Grand. Now I'm going to put a note on the pictorial view as well. I'm going to call it pictorial view. I think it's an isometric as it happens, because I saved it as an isometric, I think, in the assembly. So I'll just place that roughly there. Okay. So that's not bad. Could we add other things into it there? If you wanted to put in a different section view, you could do that. We'll just show you how to put in another one there. How do we make horizontal? If I wanted to do a horizontal one roughly in the middle like that, green tick, auto hatching, and we get you know, that's if you want to do another one. I don't really like that. I don't think it shows too much about it, so I'm just going to press escape there. Okay, so nearly done. I'm going to give it a quick save. Last thing I want to do is put in some measurements or dimensions. Now, it's in annotation and it's under smart dimension. So we want to put things in like overall widths and lengths and stuff like that. We don't want, like, there's infinite number of measurements we could put into that, which I'm not going to bother do. Okay, so there's 198.84. Now you might remember your what you call it, your dimensions. Like, it's probably not going to be that, so maybe round it up if you want to. I'm going to go into this little box here at the side. So when we click it, this is the automatic dimension that it's after setting, the 98.4. I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to delete. Just click yes. I'm going to type 99. There we are. What else could I do with that one? You might put a dimension of from the end to the center point of the wheel, maybe. Now, what we don't want to do is that. We kind of want to work with the biggest one, the bigger dimension, the 99 in this case, to be further away. I'm going to round this up to 91, so I delete that. Type 91, click yes, don't show again. 91. I'm going to put a radius dimension or diameter on this wheel. Radius 9.5. This little circle in here, radius 1.5, and all the other radii. Now that's giving me a diameter there. Let me see, where could we go with that one? Diameter 8. What other one do we have? This one here. That's another diameter. If you wanted, you could spread these out over different views. It's entirely up to you. Try get them neat. Obviously that 9.5 needs to come down a bit closer. You'll notice that some of them come out as radiuses, and some of them, I don't like that one, and some of them come out as diameters. Basically, a radius comes from a partial circle, so this here, we're pointing to that there. Just press escape there. Because this isn't a continuous circle, it has this little semicircles cut out there, it recognizes it as an arc rather than a full circle. So which one have I not done here? Radius 3.5. If you really want to do that many, that's fine. No, I've done that one. There's your diameter 8. Okay, what else could we do there? Maybe do the height of the center of the circle from the ground. Try find the lowest point on the mouse. You can drag it, probably do it that side. Just means I'm going to have to rejig some of the other ones, so I'm going to round it up to 20, take the dim out. There we are. I might move this over a little bit more to get it out of the way. It has a line there that I didn't want. Okay. I'm not keen on that radius 3.5 one, so I'll just get rid of it. Right, happy enough with that. Okay, what else could we do? Overall depth. Let's see if we can get something out of that now. And this is a difficult one to do, and I'm not sure what to do about it. Would I have to mark a point on it here with a sketch? Possibly. It might have to give me a reference point. Maybe 2 points there. Okay, because it's a curve, there's no kind of references on it. Although there was a reference point there for some reason. So I'm just going to pick that point to that point there. I'm going to round it up to 59. I don't like this now. Why is it doing that? So this is just something I haven't done before. Okay, so set it, then go back in, I presume, and change it to 59. Hopefully it doesn't go all weird on me there. 59. Okay, that'll do. You know, and there's other things that you could add in there. You don't have to go mad with it though, that's the thing. You don't have to put any measurements on the section view. Let's put in Let's drag that down for a start, get that closer there. Let's get a height in. So if we can put the height in the end view. So from the very, very bottom, I'm going to round that to 39. Now if you've other little details that are important, maybe these little grip holders that I have. There's two circles there, I'll do the inner and the outer. I've done the same one twice. So you need to be neat and tidy about it. Maybe the little gap there, I'm going to round that to 0.5. So the question is, how many do you use? It's up to you. You don't need to absolutely crowd it out. You just need some major dimensions there. Maybe the depth of the gap here that I have. So that could be, you could do a parallel, or you could do, yeah, I suppose you could do a parallel to it. 17.85, I'll just round it to 18. Don't like that where it's positioned. Let me just try that again. Get it in a neat spot. Yeah, so like, listen, there's loads of stuff that I could add in there. I'm not going to do everything, just kind of the main features. So I'm going to rejig all this here. So that it's all kind of neat and symmetrical and stuff like that. Okay, so that's pretty much it for sheet 1. I'm going to stop this video now, and I'm going to go and do another video for sheet 2. So I'm just kind of thinking, is there anything else I'm missing there? You know, just to kind of summarize, have as much space used up as possible. Try not have to have any more spaces. You know, if you wanted to have another little 3D view, you could just go like this. So click, should always try work off the elevation, go to view layout, go for a projected view, and if you just move your mouse away at a different angle, you'll get a different type of 3D view from a different angle. So hopefully, can I get one down here? No, for some reason. Hidden line, sorry, the shaded version is pretty good. You know, you might want to go with that there. Click the view, custom scale. I'll go 1:2. I'll make it smaller. Maybe it's something we could use to kind of fill a gap. Maybe 1:1. Could I fit it in somewhere else? Possibly. I could maybe bring that down here. Shift that over a bit. Don't forget to move notes with it. You know, so I think that could be fine. I could move this closer to that if I wanted. Maybe move the whole view in. Now I have a little bit more space there for that. So pictorial isometric view. Maybe we change this front, we call it front pictorial isometric view. Copy, and I'll just call this rear isometric or rear pictorial view. What might be a good thing to put in is something to do with the scale. So what was our scale for this view here? I think it was 3:2. So you could make a note if you wanted. If you had some special notes that you wanted to put in, you could add it in, like something like this here now. If I could just select all that, like all views are of scale 3:2 unless stated otherwise. Okay, so it just could be a little note that you want. You could make it italics. Of course you have to select everything first, so italics, bold, centered. You might want to do something like that, I don't know, whatever you want, like, you know. all views. I'll just zoom in there. So you can see that this one here now is saying scale 3 is to 1. This one is saying scale 3 is to 2, so I don't really need that because we've just kind of covered that. So this one here, that was 1 is to 1, I think. No, that was 3 is to 2 as well. That's handy. This one is 1 is to 1, so I might just go on the next line, scale 1 is to 1. Center it all there. You know, there's loads of other things you can do if you look at the notes and stuff like that there. If you look in annotation and stuff, there's loads of different things you can do, but you know, you can figure that out for yourself. So I'm kind of happy enough with that. You know, just depending